Good morning, everybody. We're back so soon, and I hope you all are doing wonderful, whether it's your day, your night, or your evening. Obviously, we're here for more Ninja Gaiden. I'm going to break down this 1 hour and 11 minutes flat footage, which is pure gameplay with no commentary, which I will be adding commentary to because of the breakdown. But if you do want to watch this yourself and have your own two takes on it, Gamers Pray is a channel. They have an hour and 11 minutes long, so go for it. It is again no commentary, and it's at 4K, which I will not be watching at 4K. My laptop will blow up. And before I get into the full breakdown, and because it's an hour long, and knowing me, it's probably going to be 2 hours long again. So I have a little bit of a honey here, so my throat doesn't get messed up again. We're talking straight for 3 hours. So before we get into that, I'm going to address some things about the hot topic that people are unsure about, mad about, or very reluctantly are given a pass to, which is Ryu's post launch DLC. Now, I will try my best to address this in as many point of views as I possibly can. But let me make two things clear before I start, quote unquote, bootlicking, shilling, or whatever else like people want to call me about it. But again, everything I'm doing, not sponsored. I'm doing this for the love of the game. So, um, DLCs suck. They always suck to pay for content that's been there from release from previous entries, and it's a situation we're in. The industry is in that state. Unfortunately, it is the state of the world when it comes to that. Everything's more expensive to produce. People need to make their money back and all that, right? I'm not saying I'm excusing it, but I'm taking it because it beats the shit out of not having weapons at all. Period. Especially like not having weapons till like Sigma comes out, Ninja Gaiden 4 Sigma, or Ninja Gaiden 4 Black, or Ninja Gaiden 4 Razor's Edge. It is a much better reality to be sure that we are getting a weapons pack later, or just anything of the sort. That yes, we are. Ryu is going to have weapons later down the line. That's wonderful. There's nothing wrong with that. Yes, the method sucks. I am with you. I don't like the fact that I have to pay for more. I already paid for it, unfortunately, because circumstances. But like, I'm not excusing what they're doing. I just want you to understand why they have taken the route they have, and it is a experience speculation on my end. I don't know exactly what they went through because I don't work with them, but because of the things I've went through in development cycles myself, with how these things are handled, I can probably try to shine some light on what might have went down for them to decide to do this very, very, very controversial direction with somewhat repeating the same instance of Razor's Edge or Ninja Gaiden 3 on vanilla. So I'm gonna lead off on that one. I've heard people say that this is the repeat of Ninja Gaiden 3, and you are not only wrong, but I feel like you are not even thinking at that point. Because Ninja Gaiden 3, and this is a picture I brought up to the people that kept like crying about this topic. This is how you look like. When you say this everything sucks, this is how you look like. You're just making the situation worse for yourself. Because this is not how it is. Because people saying this game is worse than Ninja Gaiden 3, and I'll let it roll out. Just it's and go. People saying this game looks worse than Ninja Gaiden 3, flat out you're wrong, because it looks awesome. It sounds better. It has more content. It has like the content alone, like people because Ryu has one weapon doesn't mean this game is Ninja Gaiden 3. Because if you can recall all the way back to Ninja Gaiden 3, um, it was just Ryu with a very subpar story, very horrible action sequences when it came to like the slow walks and the climbing kunais and all that, and it was just Ryu with a dragon sword and one Nimpo. Well, two technically. This is not that situation. We have a fully fledged out character with technically 8 weapons. He has 4 weapons that can transform into completely different things with a whole new set of movesets. Yakumo is already a full fledged character, way more than Ryu was in 3. Vanilla 3. So this is not a repeat of that situation. If you think that you are not thinking clearly, if it's you want to say it's your opinion is wrong. You're again, you're entitled to that opinion, but it is a flat out factually wrong opinion. We are getting plenty of mechanics in 4 to even think in the ridiculous manner of saying this is worse than 3. It's not. Because somehow, if I'm giving credit to the team of Ninja Gaiden 4, somehow they've made Dragon Blade have even more moveset and be more complex than it was even in 3. Because his Dragon Sword in 3 was designed to deal with everything, to be able to handle the whole game on its own. And what Ryu can do with the Dragon Blade in Ninja Gaiden 3 is something that not a lot of characters can do even in their own franchises. Dante can do even a fraction of what Ryu does with the Dragon Sword in DMC, in any of the DMCs. Like, on top of having Swordmaster and all that. So like Ryu's depth with the Dragon Sword alone is more than enough for a character in the hack and slash games. But your sentiment comes from the fact that you're just used to having multiple weapons. There's nothing wrong with that. That's absolutely valid. Everything is fine about that. And but to say that it's worse in a worse situation than 3, it's just wrong. Just if you scale it 1-to-1, you are 40 points above 3 in this at least. Now, game length is the one thing I'm actually worried about when it comes to 4. I don't know how long this game will be, but considering how they've chosen to do chapter challenge exactly like Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge, which you can play any chapter with any character with or without your upgrades, which is sick. I love that. Already makes it that, yeah, replayability is just insane in this game. And now we come to the main topic. On the fact that DLC weapons will be a thing, meaning Ryu is going to eventually have insane amount of depth as time goes on. So not only you have a reason to always come back to the game if you have the deluxe edition purchased, to learn new stuff and try new things, you also have the option to just wait it out, and which is something I would recommend the people that want to stand on this hill that I don't want to pay for, like, this type of stuff. It should be in the game. You're right. Your opinion is fine. It is absolutely okay for you to not want to pay for the deluxe edition on release. It is very expensive. Not everybody can afford it. Not everybody was gonna be happy and spending that much money, and it might even ruin the experience for you. It's like, hey, I paid like 130 something for this game. I paid like $90. It's like it could sour the experience for you. So if you would prefer to play it on Game Pass and then wait till everything's out and then purchase the game on a sale with everything in it, or just if you want to be an absolute sage and just wait till like a black version or Sigma version does come out. One, I respect your patience because I could not do that, and two, again, absolutely fine and pretty smart thing to do, because that way you're sending a message like, hey, like, I would like a perfect complete product. There's nothing wrong with that. So my cat wants to leave the room. So give me a second. Okay. Kitty always likes to take the times when I'm busy to bother. Um, but yeah, if you want to wait and buy the game at a later date, absolutely fine. And again, it is a smart thing that I would encourage to do even. But know that the game will only get better as time goes on. And now I'm gonna go to the topic of why I think they've done this. And it's kind of obvious too why they've chosen this route despite knowing the risks, because the two developers are close friends that worked on many games before, and as they've said many times, this collaboration was only possible because both teams united. This doesn't mean that Team Ninja is washed. This doesn't mean that Platinum is just that much better. It means nothing like that. Team Ninja has said, Koei Tecmo as a thing, has said that their team is not big enough to be able to handle multiple projects. They've only declared that they can do one game a year now. Being thankful to the growth Neo has given them, and the fact that they have outside sources like Platinum Games helping them to make products. Making a hack and slash games, as I have said many, 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 many times, is a very daunting task. This is not like making an open world Souls like game, because in an open world Souls like game, you have three different varies of enemy reactions. You hit them, they stagger. You hit them, they don't stagger, and you can launch certain enemies, right? So your lesser enemies, you can hit them with and stagger and all that, and your bosses and stuff, they don't react to you. They don't react to you, and that's the thing. You seen. So pay attention. This is actually a perfect sequence, and I'm not. The breakdown hasn't started yet, but I'm just going to use this as an example. You see how many different ways this guy flinches based on what hit Gakumo is doing. Flinches down, flinches sideways. Now he's D-limb flinching, all that. And the guy on the floor, same thing, different flinch animations. Every attack, every action, every weapon, every string has a different reaction based on what state you hit the enemy with. This is, by all means, an open world, linear fighting game. That's how hack and slashes are. And we already know how hard fighting games are to make and how long they take. They take approximately 8 years at the very least to make. Most the companies now just release it within the 5-year development cycle, and they just do season passes and try to fund the project as they expand it. That's exactly what Team Ninja has decided to do with this game, is because they know that it is very hard for them to try to manage a whole new character, even if Platinum's developing it, and putting Ryu in the game out the gate with 8 weapons. Hypothetically, I don't know how many weapons he'll have in the DLC and how long it'll take for each of them to come out, right? I can promise you there will be a launch trailer that's going to include some of the stuff, though. But anyways, the this game has been in development since I think 2017. I've heard, or was it 19? But it's been a very long time. And if you want to calculate, and you can calculate in the nicest way, just imagine a team of 50 people, which is complete horseshit. There's more people than that working on this game. A team of 50 people, all getting paid minimum wage. Let's say 7 hours a day, right? Calculate that every day for 7 years. How much money is that? With almost no return on investment. That's a buttload of money getting just invested into this game with nothing coming out of it, right? So because it is draining, shareholders hate seeing them not the numbers need to go up at all times, right? So they always need to gain more money. So Team Ninja said, okay, we're gonna have a full product, we're gonna have a full character, and we're gonna have Ryu better than ever, more depth heavy than ever, and hopefully in a full-fledged game, which it's again shapes up to be. It's shaping up to be a full-fledged game because it has multiple secret missions you can do in Test of Valors and all that. So it's like there's 2 different modes you can do in that. There's Chapter Challenge, which is beautiful. It's the most glorious way you can do Chapter Challenge, and there's 4 difficulties. And Master Ninja has again confirmed. I talked about it in yesterday's video. Master Ninja mode has confirmed enemies are more aggressive. The waves are different, and they do more attacks. So it is definitely a different mode on its own, right? So, with all that being said, all that time and money is being invested into this without it making anything back. So, despite them already having plans to do more weapons for Ryu, they need some type of return. They didn't say, let's see if the game sells well and then we'll decide to do more weapons. No, they've planned to do more weapons for Ryu since day one, because of course he needs to have it. Why would we want to make that mistake and repeat the Razor's Edge or repeat the 3 Vanillas issue? But they have been forced to do that because they do need return on their investment. I'm not, again, excusing, I'm just explaining how the system works nowadays in the industry. So, and they haven't done this. They haven't decided to do more weapons for you because, again, some random dude complained on Twitter and called them names and stuff. No, these are planned out 5-6 years prior to announcement. If then game development works like that, games don't even get developed for like at least a year before the conceptual stage is done. So That aside, this was always their plan. But what they prioritized was having a full-fledged character, having Ryu with his most important kit and abilities be included in that version, and having a fully functional difficulty mode, chapter challenge mode, all that stuff. It might even have co-op and survival out the gates. That might not be like DLC or like missing content that you have to wait till Sigma. It might have those too, so it might be even more fully fledged than we thought. But I'm not going to give those points to them because we don't know. So again, many games come out nowadays, and they don't have most of these things, right? So someone brought up, and one of my friends brought up this point, and also someone in my comments brought up this point. It's like, imagine if they released Dante without his weapons, and you have to buy them or wait for DLC to buy. And it's a good point because, contrary to Dante, Dante does have a full kit. His full kit is all his weapons. Ryu's full kit is Dragon Sword. He just goes overboard with his other weapon. Ryu is a fully functional character with Dragon Sword. Can do everything with that one weapon. Dante, you can do everything with Rebellion, but it's not his full kit in the sense of like he's not, because as a player and as the character, you do have the toolset to deal with everything, but not having all that stuff. Like if you don't have your gauntlet weapons, which the game gives you out the gate in 5 at least, you can't deal with a lot of things. Every weapon specializes in something, right? With Ryu's case, that's not the case. He doesn't need the scythe to like break armor. He doesn't need the Kusarigama to have long range weapons. Like he doesn't need any of that. Granted, again, neither does Dante because his toolkit is much more advanced than that. But the thing is, we already kind of deal with that situation. It's not Dante, it's Virgil. We always have to wait till special edition for Virgil, and we always get the same 3 goddamn weapons. It has happened 3 times already, and everybody's happy to buy it. And I distinctly remember the community say like, "Hey, we would pay happily for weapon skins and more weapons for DMC5." And I'm like, "You say that now, and wait till it happens, and you're gonna be mad about it." And funny enough, that's exactly what's happening with Ninja Gaiden. And it's not like they're doing this because it was request for it. No, this was a plan beforehand. Again, these were planned up way before we even got caught wind of it. So I mean, if the first weapon that Ryu gets as a DLC comes out a year from now, then I'll eat those words. But it's not going to be the case, most likely. So, um, the industry has been through some shit, right? Everything's more expensive. So as long as these guys get some type of return investment, everything's going to go smoothly. The game's going to get updates and everything. So with that said, I want to wrap this up quick because it's already been like 15 minutes. I've been talking about this. With that being said, the good thing, the plus side of getting DLC weapons is that one, if the game does very well and the DLCs do all right, and even down the line the game's selling like at a steady pace, makes a lot of money. Post-launch support is very important because there's a high chance weapons might not function properly, right? There's a lot of cases like that in 2 and 3, especially 3, that a lot of weapons just don't function most of the time. Like half the toolkit is kind of useless, right? That doesn't seem to be the case here with the current weapons that these 2 characters have. And if that's the case with the DLC weapon, they can come and fix it. They can come and buff those weapons and fix them up a little bit, right? So it's a plus thing that they're doing. They're deciding to provide post-launch support that's mid-development. Because if these were like on-disc DLC that was locked behind a paywall, then there will be no post-launch support. They will just sell it to you and that's it, right? That's not the case. This is, again, the plus side of this is that we can still be in contact with them and give feedback to them and see improvements to the game after it comes out. So that means in the future, when there is a Sigma and Black version, it is absolutely going to be a better version of the vanilla version of Ninja Gaiden 4, which is a thing that I can't say for any of the games besides Razor's Edge, I guess, because it was the only upgrade to it. But a lot of people prefer 2 Black. A lot of people prefer 2 Sigma or Sigma 2. And same thing with the Ninja Gaiden 1. A lot of people prefer a Black over Sigma, or vice versa. It's like we don't have a definitive version. Everybody prefers something else. So if we have a feedback loop with these guys post-launch because of their decision to post-launch support this thing, we can all feedback them into a better goal. Watch this sequence. Boom. We'll talk about this in 1 minute. So, for all the people not wanting to buy this because they think the developers are greedy and stuff, they're not, man. It's not greed because one, it's not up to them. This is the marketing thing. The directors, they're two friends that decided to do the impossible and one of the most risky things you can do in the industry, which is bring back something that was already shaky. Ninja Gaiden was shaky because of Ninja Gaiden 3 and Yaiba. But they brought it back and it looks fantastic. Everything is there. Everything you know about Ninja Gaiden is there. Those two friends did the impossible and it's looking promising, which is insane to say nowadays in the industry. You have AAA established titles getting cancelled left and right because of Xbox. Like things are dying out because people think, or the developers think, not developers, but the shareholders and like the publishers think it's not going to sell money, so we're just going to cut it off, right? This game avoided that, and look how amazing it's looking, right? So it would, if you like Ninja Gaiden and want to see hack and slash style, it will be in your best interest to find a way that you can support this game in a way you're happy with. If you want to wait for all the DLC to be out and get this game on a sale, absolutely valid. If you want to wait till a Black or Sigma version comes out before you buy this game, that's fine too. Hopes out, my heart's out to you if you want to be that patient, but it's fine. It's an absolutely valid thing to do. So, with that said, be open-minded as always. Leave feedback to them, and again, don't jump to conclusions. This could have easily been Ryu with one weapon again, and he could have played worse than 3 with less kits. We could have been in that timeline. Or we could have had Yakumo and no Ryu. And Yakumo could only have one weapon. But no, instead they've done 4 weapons that transform into different weapons, and we have 2 mechanical heavy, depth heavy things here, which I'll get into right now. So I'm gonna rewind this and we're gonna break down everything, and it's gonna be a little bit of audio. So out the gate, I'm gonna say I'm not a big fan of all this, and that's because I'm a little ignorant. I look down on this thing because it's like, hey, it's railing, rail sliding, and all that. It's like Sonic the Hedgehog mechanics. Why is it in my Ninja Gaiden, man? My game has more dignity than that. So it's me being ignorant, if I'm being honest, right? But it's cool. It's like it's interactive. You're not just sitting there doing nothing. You saw the segments earlier, but see, like the game is teaching you is like, hey, you jump, you slide over things, and these things speed you up. Now let's put that to the test. It's like, hey, you can switch lanes now by jumping up because there's incoming obstacles. And then you can jump, you can boost. It's repeating in a cycle, so you remember. And now it's doing everything rapidly. You can switch back and forth. And hey, look, now you can wall ride too. Keep that in mind when you're blocked off in both your paths. Right? It's teaching you in a very subtle way that there's 4 mechanics involved in this. Please utilize them. Which is jumping, sliding, boost, wall riding. Assassinations. These have been back. You can block backwards, by the way, so I will point that out. I'm not going to slow down this. Oh, that's the volume. Oops. I'm not going to slow this down because it is an hour. If I slow this down by half speed, that means it's going to be a hour and a half video, so I'm not doing that. Can I math? Yes, I can. But yeah, his back was towards the enemy, and he still perfect blocked it. Fatal Flash, that's the move called Fatal Flash, and I think it's fully upgraded because the effect is different. But when you perfectly block, you have a retaliation method, which is called Fatal Flash. Fatal Flash does heavy D-limb damage, which you can see Buddy already lost 2 limbs, I think. Yeah, he lost one of his arm, but now he lost a set, but yeah. Weapon switching, back jumping off of thrust, perfect dashing. Right there. Switches weapon, perfectly slide sideways. I think that slide happens when you're locked onto something. Switching targets, focuses your camera on the person you want to target on. I really want to know what the lock-on button is for this game. UTs and OTs give you the Berserk meter. So this purple one, now we know the name. It's called the Berserk meter. And this is the Bloodbind gauge. Ryu's version of this is called the Gleaming mode. Or Gleaming technique, whatever you want to call it. Essences heal you, give you currency under certain circumstances, and also can help you to utilize ultimate techniques. Also, with something with the Berserk Gauge, if you are not in combat or doing stuff or hitting enemies, the Berserk Gauge depletes. It's going down now. So aggressiveness, as always, is very much advised. These are your bounties. So yes, you can take bounties and do side objectives during missions and stuff, right? And it tells you what rewards you get. From some blood palettes, that sounds like something that increases your damage for a short time. But yeah, I do wonder if there's going to be like some ridiculous challenges that are gonna unlock costumes and maybe weapon skins. Who knows? We'll see, I guess. But yeah, you kind of have chores to do, a checklist to do, which is cool. More things to tackle in the game. And you also do have collectibles like the Gordy, and I'm pretty sure Scarabs might be somewhere. You can't have a Ninja Gaiden without Scarabs. And Crystal Skulls. Those things have to be here, even as like a single reference. Yakumo's ninja kick off the wall, I forgot the official name for it, is fast, but covers short distances. Ryu's is not slow, but it's slower, but he covers a lot long distance. Assassination off a platform, still a thing. This arena, amazing. Oh, and cool thing, um, this sequence. He flying swallows to the enemy and does a string. So that has never been a thing before. If you flying swallow to something, you have to land before you can do something again. Or you just spam flying swallow, or it's called Azure Swallow. And in this game, it's like, no, you flying swallow to something. If it's an airborne enemy, you can continue doing air combat on it, which is good. Because you're not limited to shooting them with long range weapons. And the area is created in some way that you can just jump around freely all the time. It's vertical. We never had vertical like this to this extent. And yes, for enemies that, or for people that think aerial combat is overpowered, look, like there is a lot. This is mission 1, and there's already enough threats in the air to like really annoy you. You have the rocket launcher folks that shoot clusters of missiles, so you can't just go in any direction and dodge them. No, you have to specifically go in a specific location to dodge those things. The clusters are really annoying by the look of it because they knock you back so far, and they can hit you multiple times in the air from the same cluster. Ladder climbing is hella fast, and speaking of the clusters, he just perfect dodged through it because he was ore farming. But the game is teaching you all this stuff, right? No, so they put you in a location where it was impossible for you to get rid of the guy before he does one cluster. They're just showcasing the toolkit of the enemy. And now they're showcasing the toolkit of the strong enemy. They hit this guy, you can't just mash on him. Even in air, even in the air, if you mash on this guy, he's gonna block your ass. He's blocking Yakumo's attack now. And if you keep going on it without using your Bloodbind attacks, he will retaliate and mess up your shit. So being in the air is not free. Even being on the ground is not free. If you're not careful and picking your moments like you always have had to do in Ninja Gaiden, you have to create your own openings and hit confirm. You will get messed up. Twa. More farming. Chests are back, and you kick him open. Like, so classic. Ninja Gaiden identity. I'm not gonna go on a rant about that. Trust me. I want to, but I won't. Yeah, and now it's teaching like, hey, you can grapple and stuff too, and it's combining everything together to see if you can string it along. So they threw everything. They threw the jump at you, the slide under, the switching lanes, the wall running, and now the boost to give you a little breath. And now this is the realm shift thing. So the demons, the ones with A's, pronunciation is the same, unfortunately, so I have to just clarify that I'm talking about the demons. I'm gonna call the regular demons fiends because that's what the game does too. But apparently there is fiends and demons, and there's also demons with an A, which are the new enemy types that are unpredictable, quote unquote. So this is that realm. This is when things get unpredictable and more, risky. Does have DMC Devil May Cry vibes to it, though, I'm not gonna lie. Remember when the demon realm pulls you in, everything becomes all weird. This kind of feels like the same way. Interesting. Wonder. Well, anyways, Falcon Dive is still there from 3. Technically from 2, but you don't control this. On this place, a really cool amount of combat happens here. Notice, again, I've talked about this before, but notice when he got hit, he has recoverable that health here. Being aggressive means you can get this back. You see he's recovering a little bit of that damage back by hitting the enemy with Bloodbond attack. And it does passively regen, but it's at a very slow pace. Shuriken into OT. My Swallow covers a ridiculous amount of distance. OT. Yeah, Bloodbind attacks seem to be a sure way to make sure the enemies don't deflect your attacks. Big Essence. You absorb Essence, it gives you health back. Look at his health bar. So red Essences work as 3 things. They can give you currency, I think. I'm not sure about that one. They can absolutely fill up your UT, and they can be used as health. I think the bigger clusters of red are health ones, and the smaller ones just charge up UT. So if you want to not utilize the ones that give you health, just go up to them, claim them, and then grab. If you want to use the smaller ones, just hold triangle. And another thing, I think, and I'm not sure about this, but I did witness an area where there was multiple essences on the floor, like 7 of them on the floor. And when Yakima was fully charged, it only consumed 3 of them, and the other 4 were still on the floor. So that's a brilliant thing. That means you don't overuse an excess amount of essence if you want to UT spam. So different enemy, or same enemy with different weapon, I should say. He has dual shurikens in his arms. Sadly, we don't get to see what he does because he just, went bye-bye. Whiffing. I don't like seeing whiffs on Ninja. Oh, Ryu from 2 gives me PT. Let's see. UTs and OTs, well, OTs for sure give you both bars. They give you Berserk bar and Bloodbind bar, meter back. As far as UTs go, I don't know if they give you Bloodbind. I know they give you a lot of Berserk though. But he has Berserk now. I don't think he uses it here. And Berserk mode, you can do 2 things. You can use Berserk mode, which is your L3R3, as a DT, where you just go into it and it uses you just get powered up. You become stronger. Your moves do way more damage. They can practically one-tap enemies if you combine your Berserk mode with your Bloodbind mode. You actually one-tap most enemies. And there's a couple of sequences where they bring up all this stuff. But other than this, like, that is... I'm guessing that's his... that looks like it holds triangle. Hold triangle and just change position and go behind the enemy. That might be a very useful utility. He's getting shot at by a long distance enemy, so if you notice that the spear enemy, the spear soldier, can launch you. Right? And when they launch you, they can combo you. So not only you have the ability to air combo enemies, the enemies have abilities to opportunity to air combo you. So again, it's not a one-way street here. You can get messed up. So now have a taste of your own medicine. Boom, splat. Take care of long-range enemies. And I actually wonder if you do have bows and stuff. His Bloodbind is full, so I can't tell if he's gaining some or not. But yeah, UTs, they are long again. Very long, actually, especially in Ryu's case. So if you like Ninja Gaiden 2's UT system, with the animations being extremely long and cool, you'll love this one, because it's exactly the same. There's items back there. So if you go up that wall, make sure there's gonna be some stuff around here. Just saying, so pay attention to that. I will most likely try to do 100% run on my first playthrough on this game. I will check every nook and cranny. So I think now they toss a long-range guy to you, and he just did a Dragoon dive pretty much, man. Come on. But yeah, they threw the cluster rockets at you and this guy. So a smart Ninja Gaiden player would take out the long-range guy and then deal with this, bro. You just had 5 combat sequences, and now they're throwing you back into railing. Okay? The game is giving you breather time pretty much, and this might get annoying for people that have like 200 or 300 hours on the game. I can 100% see the fact that, oh, I just want to fight. I don't want to do the railing segments. I can see that, right? But thankfully, they're not too long. And again, take it from me, having these short breathers is good for your body. It's good for your hands to not be always mashing all the time. You might be young right now, but one day you'll get old like me. And your hands are going to be like, hey, remember all those stress tests you ran at me for the past 30 years? I'm not 30. Yeah, payback time. I'm going to give you the most excruciating pain now so you can't play any hack and slash games. Like, it gets like that, so. Hand exercises, stretch your knuckles, turn your wrists and all that. That's good for you. Anyways, back to the game. Nothing going on, but there is like a mini boss segment. It's like makes it a little bit more dynamic. You have to dodge apparently do certain stuff. I think if you boost, it just doesn't hit you. But I do wonder if it's like contextual or not. There's items around. Smell it. You can climb those containers. You can climb those containers. I know it. Maybe not, but we'll see when the game comes out. Elevator music. We wonder if we can just climb it. I thought you pulled out a gun for a second. Ooh, part D on. No combat going on, I can't really break down. That about sums it up, but enough of that, Yakumo. The fast generator. The last generation. Okay, so yeah, Yakumo's making his way. Generators and the seals. So he's climbing the tower. Get to the Dark Dragon. I'm not going to break down the story too much, because that is one of the many things that I kind of want to be surprised on. And I'm sure most of you do too. You don't want to know about the story, because story is going to lose its value after the first and second playthrough, most likely. It's first playthrough, it's all about excitement and getting surprised. Second time, it's going to be about connecting the dots. And all the subsequent one turn into that too. And eventually it's like, okay, I connected all the dots. I don't care about the story. At least that's how it is for me. So I will not be talking too much about story. That is something you have to pause the video and discover for yourself if you really need to know more about it. I'm just a combat guy. Because in a video game, the gameplay is the most important aspect of it. In my opinion. Ooh. It's just going straight up. That makes no sense, but hey. Video games. Sick. Now we have a combination of everything you fought up until now and he is an ogre. If you played Ninja Gaiden 1, he is the ogre type enemy. Just different. They do have the same moveset pretty much too. But yes. So enemy dynamics. You have different types of enemy. They're not just all humanoid or all Vangels pretty much. You actually have different types of enemy to fight this early in the game. In mission 1, you actually get the chance to fight something that is practically a mini boss. Which will these guys will most likely turn into the regular enemies that pop up now. And they do take a lot of punishment. You see that these guys don't react to you too much unless you use the bot blind attacks. And UTs cancel red attacks as well, but they don't break, so you preferably still want to break. Also, I have talked about this before, but the little peck over here under the health bar, that just means how many health bars that enemy has. So you have one peck, that means that equates to one health bar. But once you drain this health bar, he's dead. Staying behind them is not safe. You have to be aware of them because they have two different swings. They have a left swing and a right swing if you're directly behind. Still, it has a really long windup, so I would still say it's probably the best place to be if you want to take care of these guys. Just get behind them, beat them up till they decide to do this, then perfect block that, and retaliate with whatever you see fit. If they do a red attack, do that. And tell me that's not the sickest thing you've ever seen. And Cool thing about that piece of information: finishers on bosses are unique to both characters and all their weapons. So Yakumo can do 4 different finishers on that guy, and oh, here we go. This. Remember when I said if you combine Berserk mode and Bloodbind attacks, you one-tap enemies? Perfect display of it. He pops Berserk mode here because the game is forcing you to do it, because you saw his bar was draining and then it just went boom, back up. Bloodbind is full too. He popped Berserk, and that's his Berserk finisher. So remember when I said you can use it like a DT or you can use it as a super move? That's the super move variant of it. So I'm guessing Ryu does like a Gleaming Blade. Actually, that's not a guess. He does do that. Ryu does do a ground Gleaming Blade when he does a super. That's the generator that they were talking about. The generator is now destroyed. The seal is being broken around the Dark Dragon. And that is the quote-unquote first mission. Triple S is the highest rank. And your combos matter a lot. But Yakumo aside, so actually let's do a small breakdown of this. Okay. Oh, my friends are gonna hate me. Okay, so technique. This is the amount of stuff you've done that matter. This is pretty much the karma score, right? Kills, 67% kill. So he didn't kill everything in the map, right? So he did not capitalize on everything he could have. Clear time, fast enough. 15 minutes. 15 minutes for the first mission in the game. It is 15 minutes long, played by someone that knows what they're doing. This is B-roll footage. These are pre-recorded, produced by the actual developers, so they know how to use it. My favorite thing: item used. You get penalized if you use items. So if you want to be a perfectionist like me and very, very hard ass with not using items because I'm a DMC player, items are a shame. You get a point multiplier by 1.3. So, and obviously not dying is standard. So if you don't die, you keep a 1 multiplier. You don't lose points. And accumulate all this, and again, keep in mind he's missing 33% of the enemies on this stage. Despite all that, he still got a triple S rank as a ninja. Total karma. So the ranking system seems to be very, very aware of itself, and it's really good. So combos matter the most. Consecutive kills matter. Obliteration, of course, matters. Bloodbath kill matter, which I think it's the Berserk combination. Berserk, 6 kills at the end. He just got one. Insta kill, it's assassinations and like all that. Those are insta kill. Ultimate technique, we all know what that is. Izuno drop. So for people that want to say, hey, don't spam Izuno drop, now you can just tell them to fuck off because you're just farming points. And assassination also counts as an insta kill and its own thing. So stealth thing is viable because they give you 250 points each. Yeah, so this game is going to be incredibly fun optimizing. I'm going to have a very mentally ill sequence of playing this game for a long time and mastering everything, which I will do combat breakdowns. It's something I've been wanting to do, is to teach people how to play hack and slash games, because a lot of people don't understand how to play them. Let's go into that now, because this. Okay, so I'm gonna pause these sequence more. This is 15 minutes in. I'm gonna pause these sequences more, mainly because of the fact that this is the first time we actually see Ryu with a HUD, so I can actually break down everything. So out the gates, health bar is longer, right? 5 items, which is the standard. So or 5 healing potions. This is the Phoenix. It takes 25% of the Gleaming Bar to perform the Nimpo. That is the Phoenix. Piercing Void, still a high damage Nimpo. Very high damage, actually. We'll see it later. It has a bigger radius than it shows, which it should, because it's a black hole. Literally a magnetic black hole being to offset you. I think a black hole just has a magnetic field in it. But anyways. And this takes 50% of your Gleaming Bar. Inferno is the top one. It takes 75% of the bar. And I'm guessing because we haven't seen Phoenix or Windblade be used. I'm guessing that's Windblade, and it takes the full thing. So Windblade might be the strongest one. And considering they said Ninja Gaiden 2 was their favorite, Platinum Games said that Ninja Gaiden 2 was their favorite, and Windblaze was the absolute best Nimpo to use in that one most of the time. So Windblade actually might still be the strongest here. We'll see how it is. So that is the Gleaming Izuna drop. Gleaming Flying Swallow. And as you can see, because he's under 75% of his Gleaming, his Inferno and Windblades are locked out now. You can't use those two because they require more bar than that. Ryu's strings can all be enhanced with the Gleaming mode. So every finisher he has, every unique move he has, everything he has, and including his wall run, enhance heavy, everything can be Gleaming Blade upgraded. He actually might. I'm actually surprised. You might be able to enhance your Izuna drop. Maybe he'll do the Underworld drop if you do a Gleaming version of it. But look how much distance that covers. Ryu was here before. He came all the way here. Shuriken seem to have better tracking now. They all connect. They don't whiff anymore. Azure Swallow. Block into Gleaming. OT. Wind Path gets hit, retaliates, gets the health all back. Gleaming Blade. OT. And the most extra thing you'll see, most likely, this clip, or Bastard gets launched. You saw how much bar that used? Look at his Gleaming bar. So not only Nimpos are spammable, you can spam Piercing Void twice. They also give you Berserk Gauge. So you have infinite Nimpo as long as you play cleanly. And they passively regenerate just by traveling too. So we're eating extremely good with this game. You're no longer limited to Ninja Gaiden 3's version of Nimpo, which is my favorite, but still it's very flawed. Double perfect, parry, blocked, fatal flash, and absorb all the essence and do a level 3. It does teleport to the next enemy like Ninja Gaiden 3, but it's long like Ninja Gaiden 2. Remember all those times I said they've taken the best of 3 worlds of their 3 games? This is another example of it. Oh yeah! Ninja Gaiden 2 string. Oh, sorry, Ninja Gaiden 3 string. Run in square string into the Izuna drop. This used to be different in 3. You slam down with your sword. You plunge their body with your sword and slam on the floor. That version is gone. This segment worries me a little bit. Okay, so he activated Berserk. And this is his Berserk move, which is a Gleaming Blade on the floor. Everybody dies. Besides that guy who was far away. He was smart. 2 hits. 1, 2. Delimbed. Second string of a square, delimb. So, delimb is still very much a very deadly and very RNG thing. Extremely powerful. More enemies spawn. Again, first mission in the game. I think this is mission 2, actually. Look how far. Look how far Ryu got knocked back. Middle of the stage. We almost at the bottom of the last segment. And they don't knock you off ledges. You don't get knocked off ledges, so if there's an endless pit, invisible wall blocking you from the knockback. So you're not going to accidentally die because your position was slightly unfortunate. Nimpo is straight from 3, the ender of it at least. Yeah, the worrying segment is this right here. He jumps, but he can't mantle or cover the heights. That worries me a little bit. But the a way to avoid this is 2 things. I'm pretty sure if you fly and swallow, you just go straight to the enemy, and you can obviously wall run off the wall and then jump off to get up there. And there's stairs, which is the route he takes to go up there. So yeah, he died with shurikens. That's kind of funny. Oh, go to the left. There's items there. Damn it, man. I know there's items there. God damn it. There has to be something there. The boxes are there to grab my attention. Keep note of these areas. Keep note of these areas when the game comes out or when the demo comes out. Has to be something somewhere that's gonna give away a little bit more information than what we need. There's most likely items behind them on the right too. There. Really bothering me. No, go there. There's items there too, most likely. God, there's probably a fight there actually, considering. This is where the Gordy is at. The first Gordy that they've shown is right behind Ryu. I think if you have collected them, they don't pop up again, so good thing. You wonder what they unlock if you get all of them. You can probably initiate a stealth kill here. Yeah, even after shuriken throws of and alerting the enemy, you can stealth kill him. Look, he's alerted, and you still have the option to assassinate. So there's no instant detection, thankfully. I know this something important was in this part of the fight. Ah, yes, I know what it is now. That's so. Let's digest this. So he does what I would assume is the gleaming version of forward triangle, which is a launcher. So it sends them up, and it follows up with a triple flying swallow, the gleaming swallow. And then he does one square, and he holds the button down again, and goes into aerial gleaming blade, which is what you do with the 360 UT of Dragon Sword in 2. And he's mashing gleaming blade. Because look at his bar. Empty, empty, empty. It just it decreases by 3 sequence. So I think every time you press it, you do 2 gleaming strikes in the air. So very, very, very cool thing. I do wonder if there's gonna be like a item, because I know there's gonna be some. This is gonna be accessories, and I wonder if there's like a super costume where you have like infinite gleam. Can you imagine how insane it would be to go through the game with Ryu with infinite gleaming mode? Or with Yakumo with infinite bloodline? That would be insane. Very strong. All running segments are cool, and Ryu has his Ninja Gaiden 3 version of dive kills or assassinations. If you play Razor's Edge or 3, the sequence starts with this. Exactly like that. That's his kill. So it's very iconic that they brought that back. I know saying iconic in case of Ninja Gaiden 3 doesn't chime well with people, but that game is still a masterpiece. Just not the vanilla version of it. Yep, spamming Nimpo just for the shits and giggles. Nimpo just gets spam, and it seems to be locked onto 3 people. I have not seen a version of it where it locks onto 4 people because there has never been 4 people on screen. So by all means, Inferno fully upgraded might actually do lock onto 4 people, kind of like Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge did. That Shing. Oh, that Shing is so clean. So, remember how all of us, including diehards, including people that played Ninja Gaiden 2, like their life depends on it. People like JTB that play Ninja Gaiden like big time. Remember, all of us hate this, that you charge a UT and you whiff. No longer. You just teleport to the motherfucker. This is better than 3. This is an improvement over 3, because in 3 you still have to connect the first hits, which is short range. In 4, they're like, you charge your UT, go long. You close distance. That's it. You can climb ladders fast. I'm still against him climbing ladders normally, but at least he's climbing like a ninja now, instead of a construction worker on break. So I don't know what the thing here was, because his berserk mode is empty. The game slows down. It's this, and this turns green. I don't know what's the deal with this. I don't know what this signifies. If I can take a guess, I'm thinking this is the contextual part of the game where you unlock the berserk gauge with a chapter 2 with Yakumo. So the game is kind of doing that. Maybe they haven't coded it out yet or something. Or it could be completely something different else. So, AoE on the floor gives you indication. There is a strong enemy here. Right there. They have a rapid slash. They can close distance. Take note of the enemy placements too. Yeah, okay, so it only locks onto 3 people. Dodge Gleaming Blade. See, like, if people say this game is easy and all that, this is on normal mode, and look how relentless they are. Look how relentless they are. He can't catch a break to get in. So if you're a masher, you're gonna get your shit pushed in. You can't mash on this game. Oh yeah, funny sequence I noticed by accident. Look at this wind path. Guillotine throw. He smacks the guy he throws into the other guy that was airborne. And it just collides. That guy's gone fucking swinging, which is awesome. UT, please. There's so many essence on. Thank you. And also this is a very common thing that happens in 2. If there is a like a stair or a barrel or a box or an ant or a molecule atom between you and the enemy, your UT does not connect, and you just whiff it and you waste all the essence. Here it seems that's not the case. He just connects it regardless. How many times have you been on stairs and UT whiffs because the invisible wall blocks you in Ninja Gaiden 2? Comment below. Can't wait to see the millions of numbers I'm gonna see. Forward square into Gleaming, OT. On landing UTs, and you can actually multi-hit with it because the other guy that jumped in also got messed up too. Perfect dodge. Yeah, remember when I said he can get hit multiple times? Gets hit by the first rocket, health damage, recoverable health. Get hits again, loses the recoverable health. It takes more damage and has some recoverable health left. So you can absolutely get messed up if you stay in the air too long. You can absolutely get messed up if you ignore long range enemies too long to focus on, having fun. So, game's not too easy. Game is Ninja Gaiden. It's playing like Ninja Gaiden. This is how Ninja Gaiden feels like. Annoyances at any corner that if you don't take care of can ruin your flow. This works on every hack and slash games too, because y'all remember Enigmas from Ninja Gaiden from DMC3? Yeah, hate those guys. Same thing. They sit in the back and shoot arrows at you. They can mess up everything. Yeah, he almost got launched there again. He armored through it because he had Gleaming mode active. And wow. Guillotine throws. Okay, so I was gonna say guillotine throw like launches them very far, but look at this flying swallow. Look at that distance, man. Movement in this game has never been more important. I'm actually curious about this. So there's like 4 essence there. Yeah, essence give you health. The bigger they are, the more health you get back. And you only collect them if you're in idle. If you're moving around, they do not get absorbed to you. If you're doing any action, they don't auto-absorb to you, as you can see. Twa. He did a Gleaming Blade attack, but he completely missed it because he was not locked on, nor he had vision of the enemy. 360, I'm guessing? No, that's the hold. That's the hold. So he held after Shuriken throw. Interesting. I wonder... Oh my gosh, does that mean you can Shuriken throw mid-string and it saves your string? That could be bad and good. Or maybe you have the option to do a heavy attack after Shuriken and it saves your string, but if you do square, like it resets it. Really curious about that, because the spin thing he did is a square hold, triangle hold motion for Ryu in 3. Or farm, yeah, get all those essence back. You get a very small amount of health back. Back to Yakumo. Long range. So I'm guessing the long range Bloodbind attack is maybe tied to circle. So instead of Shuriken, you throw out the energy wave, which is like Samurai Sam's, Jetstream Sam's moves from Metal Rising DLC. Side dodge, perfect dodge, you have a different motion for it. The music is pretty nice too, again, if you're watching the video on your own. Listen to the music, it's pretty cool. So sad still on Bone is not back, but it was OP. It was a very overpowered mechanic. Switching weapons has a unique animation. So I am wagering that is the 360 drill attack, and you can hold it to power it up. The guy got delimbed. Unique OT, pretty sick. That's the projectile for the thing. Without charging it, it just shoots out of a fireball type. Oh, blood ball. That's the charge version, which lingers. It's like Sword Pierce from Devil May Cry 3. It continuously hits, which means if there's an enemy in the distance bothering you, you can suspend them a little bit with that attack. Being occupied and hit stun. I'm already thinking of 10,000 different fight in this game. Cool OT, we saw that in the... And this is very important. So when she does the pole stance, he has a slam attack, which is, I'm guessing it does heavy damage focused on a very linear area. And he also has this 360 move. I don't know if it's a 360 move, but it's an AoE attack where it hits all around them. So if you have a lot of people around you, you can use that, clear them out, or to stagger them so you're safe on land. Or if it's one enemy in front of you, you just want to dish out heavy damage to them, you can just do the slam, which is the linear one. That's straight up Kasumi's OT. Its hand was not connected. Yeah, they are. Okay, that looked a little goofy. Let's see if we can go back. Yeah, his hands are not on him, man. That's comical. But hey, I don't care. Flying Swallow, traversing countries that distance. The enemies just spawn. Like, he just killed like 5 people and then there's 6 more spawn. So, density is definitely there. And I assume in Master Ninja, you're fighting high tier enemies in waves. I hope there's not like, 4 alchemists in waves of 14 ever again. Or sorry, 14 alchemists in waves of 14, 4 at a time. That's really annoying in Ninja Gaiden 3. Boink. It's a different generator. This is definitely chapter 2, and back to Ryu. Ryu doesn't have a unique animation to take, so it's destroyed. Which is fine. You need to over-design everything. They already over-designed the boss finishers, which is the more important part of the game. Because you interact with the boss. I don't need Ryu to interact with every destructible. Want to save development time and cost? That's one way to do it. Look how massive this thing is. Look at the 2 enemies on the right. And take note of where Piercing Void goes. By the way, it's beautiful. My favorite Nimpo is even more beautiful than ever. Look how far these guys were. This thing is edging. Phrasing. This thing is like scratching this like left side pretty much as it's going down the hallway. But these 2 guys at the very right side of the hallway still get clipped by it and die. Everything died in the hallway. And guess what? The bar is passively regenerating. You could already do 2 of them, but it's passively regenerating. So by the time you get to your next fight, you got 2 more to go. Items to help you out to heal if you're struggling. Well, thankfully his scarf doesn't freak out on elevator. I assume this is chapter 3 now. Yeah, this is not chapter 3, but it shifts. So this is the realm shifting. Now you're experiencing it on foot instead of on the railing because the developers said that when you get near to chapter 3, that's where you're not fighting what you're used to anymore, and the game is finished teaching you. Now you're going to fight uncertainty, whether you are a veteran player or a new player. This is where the game gets unpredictable. Azure Swallow. Always nice to see that move back. Wow. It's a run in. Yeah, that's the run in square string from 3. Again, it's different finisher, but the same sequence. Perfect dodge into Gleaming Retaliation. Perfect dodge to square, and wow, he got stuck on the wall. That's funny. Twa. Doink, doink, doink. I really want to see if he has Underworld drop and like River Styx drops and all that, because like those moves I love those moves, man. I really want them back. The unique Izuna drops per weapon was like the best thing about 3, in my opinion. Like the combat on 3 is just something else, man. Despite how annoying the enemies are, it still feels really fun. So many essences, and he's not doing a UT. It's bothering me. Doink. Actually, I'm curious. What was this sequence? That's a perfect guard. Slides out. Perfect dodges in. Interesting. That's a new move. I'm actually very curious to what the input for that is. It is on landing heavy or something, because that is very cool. And it's cool in the sense that you knock the enemy away from you, which is very good because sometimes you just don't want to deal with a certain enemy at a certain time, right? It's something important in front of you want to take out because they're more dangerous, so you can knock out all the goons away. So that's cool. I'm gonna use this one a lot because you do that with the guillotine throw. So this gives you a different option to do insane damage to them and also knock them away because he got D-Lane from that attack. That seems so broken. I love it. Doink, doink, doink. Ultimate mode activate or berserk mode. And he does the berserk finisher. So by all means, when you activate berserk mode, you might be able to like just mess around in it for as long as you can, and then when your bar is about to run out, and just dish it out. Just do your ultimate move to finish it off. Hey, there was something there. There was something there. There was something there. Damn. He's going through the same segments, by the way. I know, I'm aware, because it's only 3 missions they're allowed to play and show off. But it is a different playthrough, so everything is different when it comes to the combat. Muramasa statue, which I think he interacts with it, but not in this mission. And yes, we already talked about Ryu has the grappling, all that, so we already saw that. But yes, Ryu can, confirmation again, Ryu can indeed play through Yakumo's missions and vice versa in Chapter Challenge. They're not limited to their own chapter challenges. You can actually tackle each other's. You're gonna stealth kill this. Nope. He really likes to run in square string. Perfect dodge into gleaming. Oh, he did the launch, but he didn't do a follow-up for it. Interesting. Blind swallow into wall run. On landing square string. I saw that flip. Breaks. That's from 3. Hella extra. Extremely extra, but it doesn't matter, right? It regens. Not like you're wasting resources. It is coming back. Hey, now we can do Art of the Phoenix. Now we can do Piercing Void. Second, there you go. Yeah, so like the Berserk gauge draining is very worrisome. So if you're playing Master Ninja, because you're going to be in combat for so long, you get to use that thing probably multiple times before you move on to the next segment. Or maybe there's an upgrade for it to prevent it from draining. But it also incentivizes you to move very fast between encounters from encounter. Essentially, you get praised and rewarded for trying to speedrun this, which I will not be doing on first playthrough. I'm going to stick to walls and every nook and cranny and discover everything I can on stream. If I can 100% on the first playthrough, then hallelujah. Thin blade, boom. That's so beautiful. And yes, you can continue the string after that, so you can actually end that in a Zuna drop to recover some gauge. And that is his 3-string. 3 heavy, heavy. Triangle, triangle, triangle. I wonder if you can hold it to go into the launcher. I don't know what it was trying to do there. Every time he sheathes his sword, a spark comes off of it. He's so like mean to that blade, man. He plunges it straight down into concrete like an asshole. When he sheathes it so hard, sparks comes off of it. I'm pretty sure that's because of the locking mechanism, though. Jokes aside, I think the dragon sword is only drawable by Ryu. So when he sheathes it, the locks hold that sword down so tightly that sparks come off of it. How quickly it locks back in. That's my guess. That's my guess with it. At least I'm not sure that's actually like lore piece. Gabbard is very unique though. I cannot wait to play Falcons and Scythe with him, man. Holy fuck! I'm so excited about the weapons coming down later. I just hope there is a mechanic and depth heavy. Like I really do hope if the Scythe comes back, when the Scythe comes back, because let's be honest, if that weapon doesn't come back, I'm gonna be upset. But I wonder if when the Scythe comes back, it's gonna have a proper UT, right? So you actually slash enemies and teleport to them instead of sending that dumbass shockwave out, which is good. Don't get me wrong, but it's just boring animation wise. Look at that. So okay, important thing. Four people get caught by that. The commander eats it but survives it, but the minions are dead. So I wonder if you do wind blades, it actually takes care of these guys too. So Nimpos are spammable, correct, right? But they're not overpowered. If you're playing really well, you get to use those moves a lot, which is perfect in my opinion. Because the better you are, the more access you have to stronger things. You're getting rewarded for your proficiency. Yes, UTs give you Bloodbind or Gleaming Gauge, so that's good. Okay, that's nice. But yeah, I was saying, I wonder if the Scythe comes back or if the Falcons come back, but mainly the Scythe. Um, I do wonder if your Berserk ultimate move is ouch. Your Berserk move is gonna be, actual like the waves, the Scythe waves. He just sends out like three, just decimate everything in his path. And his UT is actually gonna be he's swinging the Scythe on the enemy and all that stuff. Because I really want the Scythe to have a proper UT. They could make the Scythe UT just be the Steel on one version, right? He just like kills them every hit. There you go. That's the Gleaming Blade, and he used it twice here, I think. Launch, 1, 2. Yeah, that's it. So you can probably dish out all your bar to just keep Gleaming Blade going as long as you want. Because the director made a note about this, saying that he liked the Gleaming Blade move so much that when he designed this game, he wanted to make the Gleaming Blade part of Ryu's whole kit, which is exactly what they've done because now he has a meter connected to it. And every time you activate that meter and do an action, he's in Gleaming mode. Case in point, that's his Berserk mode. This guy did not get caught by it, but look at this DLM real quick. So he survived all that, and part of the Berserk mode ultimate, right? And he survived all that, but still got DLM. So, and this is normal mode. I'm pretty certain. So yeah, enemies are not weak. Enemies can eat, and when you play on hard difficulties, this is just gonna get amplified. I don't want to hear the game is too easy. Maybe you're just too good, man. Maybe you have gone too good at the game. Maybe the game is not easy. You just got too proficient at the game. You need to nerf yourself a little bit. Maybe use one button. Yes, also Ryu's he really likes that running square string. Ryu also breaks their body, their wills, their dreams. He shatters their dreams too when he uses the gleaming blade attacks when they're doing their powered up mode. It applies to bosses too. He limbed in 2 hits again. That's pretty cool. He hit his fucking upper body and delimbed his leg. That's kind of cool. We're so back, baby. I was about to say he's dealing. Just end him. Just put him out of his misery. When Ryu fights the commander, there's a really cool thing I wanted to show you guys. When we get there. Elevator sequence, but there's no dialogue here, so I actually wonder how long it's gonna last. Look how wow, that was fast. Because there was no dialogue, that was much faster. You can run up to enemies and assassinate them. You don't have to slow walk behind them all the time. They do get alerted though. Wow. All three of them got hit. That poor bastard in the back got decimated too. You can wall run for so much longer. So, very important thing here. Usually when you do shuriken throws, it doesn't give you flying swallow anymore. In most games at least. I think 3 you can manipulate it. So in this game, wall runs, jumps off, shuriken throws, and then flying swallows down. Items behind the elevator? No, we will find out at a later date. His scarf being twin tail and being extremely long is always refreshing. See, because he's always had dual scarf tails in all the games, but we've never seen it in game. This is the first time it actually has made it into the game. As far as I know, I think one of his costumes in 3 also had the Spirit of the Warrior. I think did have a long scarf in that one. Oh no, in Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, the Fiend armor has the dual scarf and it's pretty long. Hey, you need to defeat Master Ninja to get that. Ah, here we go. That was not a perfect dodge, but no, we don't overfarm. That was a perfect dodge into Gleaming attack. That does pretty decent damage, by the way. Pretty decent damage, considering the fact that it also just fucks them up. Staggers the boss and does decent damage. I think Nimpo is still better to use if you want to speed kill these guys, but you know. You can perfect guard that attack, but only perfect guard. Fatal Flash into Gleaming. Shenanigans. Perfect dodge. UT. UT level 1, by the way, that did a massive amount of damage to the boss. See, like he broke right there, and he took way more damage when his shit got broken. Perfect dodge again. But when you perfect dodge through, like forward through an enemy's attack, you teleport behind him. That's reused flex, pretty much. When you perfect, oh there we go, phase shift. So when the phase changes, the bosses send out that shockwave. Let me go back a little bit. So he's in his phase 2, but it's because he's engaged in combat for so long, he hasn't transitioned into phase 2 yet. So now he backs up to the middle. That shockwave does stun you if you're too close. So it staggers you for a little bit, but you gain control back of your character before the attack comes in. You can't block those, and that has an after image because he's powered up, right? So you can't perfect block these, but normal block, it breaks your guard. It leaves the electric field there that blows up afterwards, which he perfect dodges into gleaming attacks. Messed up the perfect block again on that one. I think he gets it at some point, though. UT. Get that damage, man. Look at this damage, though. Boom! Piercing Void, King of Damage, once again. And one other thing, blocking takes away your bar a little bit, I think. Because I noticed it drained. I don't know why it drained, though. Actually, let me take back that. I actually want to analyze this. Why did he lose bar? Oh, he used Gleaming, but he didn't do anything. Okay. Never mind. Blocking does not take away your Gleaming. False information. But look at this finisher. So, that's not the cool part I wanted to talk about. This is the cool part I want to talk about. Look at the detail. This skull textures are there, the brain textures there, and everything else in between there too. And I don't want to show this off too much because YouTube. But yeah, look at the detail on this. Like, it is insane. Can't tell me they've cheaped out on this game. They've put everything they had on this game. So if they're asking a little bit of support later down the line, you know, they have the right to do so. Triple S. Thank you, Devil May Cry, forever. Thank you for bettering the industry. Um, Photo mode in the game, out the gate. Help is part of tutorials. Move list is your strings. Okay, one thing about the move list. The move list has videos of everything. I've heard. I don't know. I've heard. So every string has a clip of that string. Every new move you unlock has a string, has a video clip of that move you've unlocked. So yes, you can do all that. And training mode exists. I don't know what the depth of training mode is. I don't know if you can change it to any enemy and just practice on them. I hope so, because again, that's the most useful thing any game can have. Like in DMC5 and Final Fantasy 16 did that and was brilliant. Photo mode is in the game from day one. You can change the difficulty mid game, and you obviously have restart from checkpoint just in case you want to restart something. I hope this doesn't penalize you. And if you get stuck somewhere, that tends to happen in certain games. Back to Yakumo, and we've seen a lot with Yakumo. The dickhead. We've seen a lot with Yakumo, so like, there's not much more I can. Like, we've seen all he can do pretty much. As long as he like, if they show his newer weapons, then that's a different deal. Yeah, you can perfect block bullets too. By the way, it's not you're not limited to perfect block a melee attack. Projectiles can also be perfectly blocked. I don't know what the follow up you get off of it can be, because it's kind of effortless to block multiple bullets coming at you, right? So, and if you're sprinting, you Metal Gear Rising this shit. You just knock the bullets away from you. Projectile. Destructile. Did he delim him with a kick? That's funny. These kicks are sharp, I guess. Going ham on this guy. He's delimbed, so he can't deflect you midair anymore. Now he's dead. You can wall right off there just to get to the projectile enemy fast, or you can just run to the side and be safe. Slower, but safer. What item do you get? Life elixir. Look how long this wall is. They really want you to have fun with it. This is chapter 3. Because I think as soon as he lands into the segments, the boss fight starts. A boss fight starts. And look, this is setting up. So like, the reason why this segment is so long, right? It's to settle down your adrenaline rush, to calm you down a bit, because you just went through fights, high octane fights. So the game is trying to slow down your blood flow, just giving you relaxing times. Like, yeah, just play through all this relaxing stuff, platform a little bit, yeah, have fun. Let's calm that down. Let's set up expectations. Okay, we're landing. What do we expect now? This area is completely different from what I've been through. We have, IKEA, not IKEA, but IKEA style housing and stuff. What's going on here? Right? And then, you look at all this stuff. It's like, whoa, we have trees, and like trees have lamps on them. Everything's different here. What's going on? So it's done unexpected, right? It's setting up a new expectations for you. It's like, oh, like, what's that? This is not a fiend. This is not a demon. What is that thing? Elizabeth? Thank God, no. But yeah, it's like it's sending you for like what's going on here. The unpredictable, unexpected, and then it tosses you in a boss fight. Because this is a Okay. So when I pause, it's because they're talking. I kind of want to just listen to them a little bit. I'm pretty sure you guys want to listen to it too. But yeah, the reason why she's taking an insane amount of damage is because this is not the boss. This is just a boss. So this is the game's way of telling you, like, hey, this is what's coming up after this. That was him using an item right there. This is what's coming up after this, so get used to this because going forward, you have to be dealing with unpredictable stuff like this. There's no longer honorable samurai swinging at you all, honest and straightforward. This enemy zips around, she dances around, and you can't tell when she's gonna attack you. Of course, eventually you'll be able to telegraph it. So yeah, they're teaching you what's going on. Finishing a fight with a fatal flash. That's cool. Siri is such a smartass. She says diamond. So you're practically in this demon's domain expansion. She controls everything. And now you're fighting new enemies. He was just chilling there, right? These guys are not the samurais. These guys are definitely not the fiends you used to fight in the previous games. What the hell are these things, new enemies. Which is coming out of my other, developer mode. The franchise, heavily needed new enemy types. Because if I'm being honest, two had variants, but for the most part, you were fighting pretty much the same thing. The bad one being three. Three was lacking so much that they reused Ninja Gaiden 2 enemies, and most of the Ninja Gaiden 2 enemies didn't even function properly in 3. Bangles being one of them. Just a very, very, very obvious example, and I should say. So you have ghost lamps. These things can suicide, and when you kill them, they can also just blow up. So they can walk to you and suicide you, and they have another tricky thing up their sleeve. That's the suicide mode, the kamikaze attacks. They also have projectiles. That's the linear slam that does a lot of damage. Toi. Yeah, the disorienting imagery is pretty sick, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like I don't dig cybernetic parts of the game, but this I dig so much. Yeah, as you can see, they have a projectile, and I think it sets the floor on fire, so it might be dangerous to step over those projectile spots. Perfect dodge projectile, and you saw how much distance he covered. Boom. Beep. It just went straight half across the map. Yeah, you either gonna eliminate those guys as fast as possible, or you can never take your eye off of them. Otherwise, it's very bad news. So if I could, considering these guys can block midstream, I will put these guys on the same level as the commander enemies, commander goons. It's like they're a tier above your average Joe, but they're still not like strong enemies. Uh, Everybody's familiar with this. You open the chest, enemies spawn. The enemies didn't spawn off the chest, but they surround you. So, yeah, the danger of opening chests is still there, but at least you still get rewarded for opening them. The reward is not just, hey, essence. No, you actually still get the items. Sinjin Warbrew, most likely a damage upgrade. Something that increases your damage or maybe defense item. And look at the level design. It's just immaculate, isn't it? Just vertical, horizontal, everything. Level design is so good in this game. Not only visually, but just dynamic going through it is also very impressive. Check left and right, you never know. So again, the game is setting up a feeling for you. The eerie feeling that, hey, you're walking towards something. And you see this flash over here? There's definitely something you can do. I don't know what, but it might be a secret mission or something. We don't know. It might be a safe point too. Who knows? But yeah, the game is setting up expectations for you. It's like, hey, you're walking into something serious. Get ready. Steal your mind. And now you fight the Kitsune boss for real this time, which is why there's a unique cutscene for it. Visually, she's amazing looking. For a third boss, she's actually really beautiful looking. And she fights really unpredictable. She dances, dashes around left and right. Look at that. You seem to be able to do a decent amount of damage to them, right? And because the bosses are designed fairly, um, them taking a lot of damage is fine, and having multiple phases is fine. Because imagine if Zodanius took this much damage and he had 2 health bars, you would absolutely pull your hair out trying to play through that. So the fact that the bosses are designed fairly and you can actually stay active and interactive with them for longer periods at a time is always a plus. I imagine on Master Ninja, this will be much harder to deal with. The amount of damage you take is much worse. Most likely, the enemies might be sped up too, and we already know they're gonna have more attacks. So yeah, Master Ninja, these bosses are not gonna be a joke, and you really need to, you know, be on top of your shit. But I assume these bosses get easier and easier as the year gets more kit. Phase transition. That's why you get the shockwave that knocks you back. Her tail is out too now, and now she has super moves. She's powered up with that, so yes, you can use blood bind or gleaming mode to knock her out of that state. And you can perfect parry the bosses. Yes, that is possible. Or you can armor through them and just UT it. Not advisable, most likely. You see, like she tried to power up there and he canceled it. Did he use item or did he just heal off? Yeah, he used item. Boom. I assume when enemies start blocking you, if you use Bloodbind attacks, you knock them out of their block string. So if you're a masher, right, if you're on points and recognize when they're blocking you, you can set it off most likely. Also, visual indication, she does go behind her umbrellas, but dead giveaway is that one of the umbrellas has her tail behind it, so you know which one is going to be the last one to strike you and which one she's behind. So the lamp poses are grappling points, so if you haven't noticed by now. He hesitated. Yeah, she's blocking there. So instead of doing a bloodbind attack, he normally attack, which the boss retaliated with, and now he just finished the fight off with Berserker State. He fell back down. Now he has to climb more again. I'm guessing this is where Yakumo undoes the seal. Also here you get to look at Sayori in her full glory. And she is very, very DOA designed. Like she is exposing everything every inch. Look at their body. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. All right, back to this. Although this might be chapter 2. I don't know. Or this might be chapter 3. I'm not sure. Ghost fishes are back, and these guys are kind of more like ghost sharks or ghost piranhas. But yeah, they're like ghost sharks. If you look at their fins and their back fins, you see this guy in the corner. It's like, yeah, that doesn't look like a fish. That looks like a shark, like a really small shark. It's Deep Blue Sea 2. That movie was horrible. Anyways, he's mostly using the drill here because, you know, we haven't seen it much. So drill seems to be pretty straightforward when you're normally using it, but when you use Bloodbind attack, that thing is really crazy. Oh, that's the Shuriken guy. He has crazy attack strings, as you saw there. Look at that zipperoonie. Look at that zipperoonie. Keep your eye on him right here. Boom, boom, boom. And he's still active, so he jumps over. So not only he's hitting you in an attack that you'll definitely get hit if you're in the air, he's covering a long distance to get to you as well. And he's still active. He's continuously chasing you down. So if you don't get rid of him, he's going to be off your booty. It'll flash. He just completed one of those side objectives too, by the way, that you can accept from the vendors that give you points and stuff. That's why that icon popped up there. Yeah. So if you want to get a lot of ninja coins and stuff, you know, you complete those as fast as you can. So you can upgrade yourself faster. Oh, sorry. The important thing here, the cluster bombs, if they do miss you, they attach to the floor and they leave this AoE field telling you how far you need to be to exit. Thankfully, your slide and your jump and your flying swallow covers so much distance that you can just get out of the range of these things with one slide. So they don't seem to be that dangerous quite yet. There you go. Yeah, when they start blocking and use Bloodbind, they don't block anymore. They shatter. So you can string them again. And this is the disco, I'm pretty sure. They're gonna enter soon. Oh, no, I was wrong. Gotta climb down a little bit more. 2 spear guys. I think this is the first time they throw 2 of these guys in one fight at you, so. He wasn't D-limbed, was he? Oh, he's not missing a limb. Yeah, he just got OT'd, and he was not missing a limb. Interesting. Maybe when they're bloody, you can just OT him. I do love how Yakima runs. He runs pretty early 2000 Shinobi style. If anyone has played the game called Shinobido on the PlayStation 2, let me know, because that is a very ancient ninja game that's very clean. I liked it personally. UT, you can armor through certain attacks, so you don't get interrupted. You do take the damage, though, still, so don't be too brave with it. Yeah, that's literally Kasumi's finisher. Different sequence, but the flip back, stab, even the camera angle plays out the same pretty much. And this is the disco field. I was right. And now you fight a series of new enemies, which are pretty docile, up until the point they realize they spit out acid projectiles that stay on the floor. I don't know if they damage you while they're on the floor, but they're still bubbling and stuff, so the game is making a point of telling you there's something here, notice it. So I'm pretty sure if you stand on them, you do take damage. But I think the player did a pretty good job of avoiding those fields. Pretty standard to enemies. They don't do much. They're like the zombies from 1 or like the mutants from 3. They don't do anything. They're just there to feed you. However, I can imagine these guys being really annoying combined with other enemy types, especially enemy types that you cannot drive your focus away from, like the commander, Shuriken commander. He just escape? Is this guy escaping? No, he just spawned. Okay, so they spawned from the ground. Unlike most of the other enemies where they just drop from the sky. They drop from heaven to go straight to hell. And these guys rise from hell to go straight to heaven. Nice. That's a new string. Seen that. Look how much distance that covers, man. Just yoink. That's so clean. Movement is so satisfying in this game. Did he switch weapons? Yeah, he did. I really want to see the UT with the drill weapon. Oh, I forgot the name of it. Sotsuba? Or something like that? I forgot the name of the drill weapon. I really want to see the UT. If it even has a UT. It should, right? Pretty sick. Yeah, that's Kasumi. That's legit just Kasumi. These demonic Torii gates spawn enemies, so you gotta take care of them quick. Otherwise, you're gonna be dealing with the ghost fishes and. Ooh, that's sick. And that's the super move with the drill, the berserk mode. A thrust attack and hover. I'm pretty sure it's a extremely decent single target attack. Oh, the environments are so cool. Enemies spawn from across the wall too. These are like, if you play Ninja Gaiden 2, remember, you know, the wolves, especially the Lycons, just spawn out of left field when you turn the corner. Pretty much same thing here. Much less dangerous foes here, I would wager, but yeah. And slide, if you're going down a slope, continuous. Little fun stuff. I hope that's not really annoying though when you're fighting. Maybe you have to hold the button to slide infinitely. But the fact that smaller interactive things are there is pretty cool. And now you find the ogres, or the onis, I should say. They're not quite neo onis, but they do have the dual horn. So they are some type of oni. So the demons are pretty much yokai archetype weapons. Enemies, sorry, not weapons. Wonder if you get to fight Shoten Doji. These guys also can block you, and if you don't break their guard fast enough, they'll mess your shit up. I wonder how long you can hold on it before you fall off. No, go back. There's items back there, man. Oh yeah, these hell spawns. Absolute pieces of work. Ah. Why can't we have one game without dogs? On the bright side, you can OT them. Which I'm sure everybody will do. Go out of their way to OT these things. And this, remember when I was talking about the video where they showed Yakumo do a finisher on one of those dogs in the costume trailer? I told you that he puts the knife or he puts the blade in their mouth and just slices their top half off. Now you get to see it visually without the blanket covering the dog. Boom. Lean off like a cucumber. Just peeled his top half. Wink. And you get to see it from the other angle. So yeah, speculations were correct, as always. You do put the sword in their mouth and it just straight clean. Let's go. Ouch. Give him a little hook too. I apologize, I will never make that joke again. Just the pristine time to do it. I take these guys as spit over the Vanguards shooting the 3 projectiles in a row that have the speed of light and the tracking of a heat-seeking missile. Or the damn Spider Clan priests. Magicians, there you go. By all means, the game is still teaching you to just, fight and normal ass enemies that are also have access to long range attacks. Oh. He's just dunking the Berserk bar. He's not utilizing the duration mode of it. He's just using. You do take damage. Look at that. So if you're in the acidic poison, look at his health. It's going down. It's actually draining. So yeah, these enemies are going to be very annoying because they're going to occupy your ground. The field is going to be occupied. So you got to take them out faster than anything else. And they spawn in bulks. So there you go. Even more of a danger if you don't deal with them fast enough. Look at that. They just be spitting. He's spitting. And they do suicide if they get too close to you, if they delamp. Every enemy still has a suicide thing if you do not OT them. Fine Swallow, Headless. I do wonder if you can want that. Swallow. Chink chink. Aura farming. Beautiful. Is there any more Ryu gameplay left? There has to be. Yes, there is. I think that's where the showcase ends for that, so that's why they cut it off. I'm going to skip this. Now is the challenge one. So these are boss challenges you can do. You don't have to go through the whole stage to do these ones. You can just tackle them. Which is beautiful because if you want to practice against a certain boss, you can just load it up. The music is amazing. I dig the music a lot. And I'm very stingy with my music taste. Like, I'll listen to any genre as long as the music is good. But they have to be really. This is pretty good hack and slash music. Especially for the fight at hand. So now the stage transition. Yeah, you see he got staggered because of the shockwave. So there's put in an image to that. That's an AoE that blows up if you're not careful. Did he just take damage off? No, he didn't. He's still recovered. Stage transition or phase transition also give you different music, so the lyrics kicked in. Look how far the OT went. Level 3 OT went through the attack, half across the map, still connected, and look at the damage. That's the OT for the blade, for the drill. It's not that impressive, not gonna lie. But it's fine. I'm sure some of the weapons are gonna have ridiculous OTs. Like reuse. That's that. And Yakuma has its own unique finisher with his dual swords. Not as cool as Ryu's, but still pretty sick. Although you could argue that looks better. Who knows? Turns. So for the boss challenge, same thing. Technique kills, it's 1 kill, but you get 3,000 points for it. Clear time, pretty fast, but not the fastest. Right? 1 minute and 41 seconds is not the fastest time. But it still is a forgiving system. So you don't have to be absolutely perfect to achieve the best rank. Still, you still need to know what you're doing. Speed killing these things is going to be insane. All right, this is the challenge mode. So, this part gets deep, and I'm kind of sad it's at the end of the video, so I hope you guys actually stuck around to watch this. But this system right here, right? There is no reason for you to have this type of system, right? You would just have Ryu here, Yakumo here, which they have done here with the icons that get highlighted. So a system like this, where you have left and right, and you can continuously play right. This is a system created for a game that's gonna have more characters. I'm not saying anything's for sure. We don't know, but this is a menu that's a little bit over designed for 2 characters. That's all I'm saying. So you can select your character. Death Wish is a mode. You can customize the difficulty pretty much. Death Wish disable all character upgrades. So you go in there naked pretty much. You get no health upgrade and you probably don't have technique upgrades. So you're fighting from scratch. And this loadout. Why do you think this option exists? Right? We already know Ryu's gonna get more weapons, right? But come on now. Come on now. Did he have one weapon? No, he used both weapons. He has access to both. But yeah, and embark is just But yeah, this menu is extremely, extremely in depth for activate, not activate, activate, not activate one character or the other character. No, this is there for them to expand on it when there is more options. So hopefully they do see a point in expanding and adding more characters and obviously more weapons. But there is the loadout is there because you can't switch weapons. And because Yakumo spawns with all his stuff, so I actually am very curious to know why this is even there in the first place. So Ryu might actually have more than one weapon on launch, right? But they're gonna add more weapons down the line. So the hope of Ryu just having one weapon, it could might be copium in here, but he still might have more than one weapon. Or I'm just blowing smoke up everybody's ass, and this is just select your skin. This could be just select your skin, maybe. Could be that. Who knows? Worst case situation is select your skin loadout, which I don't think it should be there in this preview build. All right, now I think this is the last bit of it. So Ryu fighting this second stage boss. So strap in for this one. Dodge seems to be very generous on iframes. See, when the boss puts up the shield, you can actually break it with the flaming. Look at that damage. Look at Piercing Void's damage. Boom. Good old 20%. Keep in mind you can do Piercing Void twice. So you can take off 40% of the boss's health out the gate when the match starts. And by the time you actually get it to the second phase, you most likely have a second bar. But I do not advise dunking your Nimpo, because then you don't have enough bar to deal with those attacks where they block you and where they're doing super moves. Did he just block me there, man? You can block me there? That's crazy. I don't know if that was a weird interaction, though. Ryu changes his style. Level 1 and level 2, he reverse grips it? No. No, okay, he just resets damage. Oh, we sent get some fine. Does shurikens do boss damage? Very, very, very little. That is less than 1%. That does like 0.1% damage to the boss. And it obviously doesn't stagger them, so. Hey, if a boss is really low on health and has been frustrating you for like hours, you can just run it out and throw shurikens at it. Probably not. They're going to block at some point. Maybe we'll just dodge it or not care about it. Again, when you're too close, the phase shift actually pushes you back, so. I'm actually curious if you can grapple out of the middle of the stage here. She's on the left. You can probably block that, which was what I'm going to focus on when I'm playing the game. Block that shit. There you go. Thank you. Yeehaw! Wow. Nimpo to straight perfect dodge gleaming attack. That's sick. This game is going to be so fucking cool when you get good. Assume the essence for that. Ooh, okay. Ah, the poison mist deals damage to you. So when he was jumping over the poison mist, he was taking dot damage. Look at his health. Going down. Probably a better display here, though. Was it doing chip damage or actual damage? He's taking chip damage. So, okay, it's recoverable damage at the very least. She does the super attack a little too much. Maybe it's because it's the amount of damage she takes is a lot, too. That attack is avoidable if you dodge under her and go behind her. She cannot track you well enough. That's that. Or farm. Yeah. As you can tell, both characters have very unique finishing animations for all the bosses. That was also another boss challenge. Boss trial number 7. Kitsune Courtesan. So that's her official name. Character Ryu. Difficulty normal. This Death Wish mode disabled. Untouchable not achieved. Ooh, no damage bonus, baby. And yeah, because it was pretty rough, he got a B rank. Got Greater Ninja. For B rank, Greater Ninja is a bit of a gaslighting statement. But yeah, technique, pretty ass. Got 2,000 for it. Kill, just one kill, you get 3,000 for it. Clear time was horrible, so you get 2,000 out of 5,000. No items used, no deaths. You know, you just don't lose. You don't lose points on no deaths. No points multiplies the points. Insta kill wasn't. I mean, you can't use. Berserk mode was not utilized. Obliteration was not utilized. Which is weird because the finisher would be right. Ultimate technique was utilized twice, so you did. Okay. Combo was pretty bad, so I don't get that much off of it. And get considered kills, obliteration. You should be able to get it because the picture is kind of no T. But yeah, that is the footage. That is the 1 hour footage. This is just the trailer playing out again. So again, if you want to watch this video on your own, it is right here. Gamers Pray. Go give it a like, watch it, leave some comments, maybe show appreciation because pretty nice of them to put all the footage together without commentary. But that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. If you guys spot anything I've missed, please bring it up in the comments. I would love to learn more about the game. Because it is an hour of footage, there's no way I caught everything upon second watch of this thing. So yeah, I'll try to get to every comment as fast as I can, as much as I can. So hope to see you guys interact, and I will catch you guys next time when we get some fresh news. Peace out.